Alrighty, well welcome back. So we're going to do a second attempt at repairing a bent axle on this thing. The little short clip at the beginning of this episode, that corner where I'm drifting it caught in pretty hard. I am fairly certain that's when I bent it for the second time. I knew pretty much when I repaired the axle the first time. I bought a shaft, I got it all set up to go on here, thought I was going to be able to get it hardened at a place. Turns out I wasn't able to, so I more or less knew at that point in time it's going to fail again. But I already had the parts. I wanted to get this thing back out and run it some more, so I just slapped it on regardless. It did actually last for quite a while before I bent it a second time. So I definitely bent it a lot better the second time around than I did the first time. So let's try to get a bit better repair on this thing so it can handle a little bit more abuse. And so yeah, so I can beat it up and it doesn't just fail on me. Alrighty, let's get at her and see what we can do.
Well, I'm on my second bent axle now. I really didn't think that the first fix was actually going to work, but I just gave it a shot. So I have an idea. I don't know for sure how well this will work. I robbed these parts off an old caravan that I had sitting out in a field, and I'm going to see if I can make something work with this. Wish me luck. Using a bandsaw to attempt to cut this could be one of those bad decisions. Yeah, it's not working so well. So both these CV joints were center drilled. So I made this guy up so he can go in there true. I plan on putting him back in the lathe with the sleeve over this, with the intent of getting it welded on there nice and true. Hopefully the lathe will hold it while I weld it. So just quickly made up like a little cardboard type template to so I can adapt these wheel hubs to my existing ATV wheels. Now I'm going to transfer that over to steel. So I was trying to show this on video. I don't think it really showed up on video quite the way I wanted. This was just an old sprocket that I had that I wasn't going to end up using for anything. For me to turn this center section out on my lathe, my chuck's so small, I mean, I can't grab this with my chuck, it's too small. So I took this guy, welded him on there, got him as true as I could, welded him on there, clamped it back in here, machine this all down, got it all squared up, trued up. Then I could turn around, grab it in the chuck, and grab this in the chuck, and then turn this out to the size I want so it fits on here. So this is the things you have to do when you have a little tiny lathe. So this is what I robbed off an old Caravan and modified so it can fit on here. So basically I got to cut this off. This will slip over my axle. I got 6 inches of keyway in there, so it should be hopefully very strong. I got to figure out how I'm going to get this guy mounted on here. This unbolts, this bearing comes out of there. The bearing's like this guy here, which is a self-supporting bearing. So it's not really putting any stress on the axle. The axle is just basically turning this bearing with this modified CV joint. So basically I'm going from a bearing this size to a bearing this size, and this really doesn't give any support this way, where once this is all mounted and welded and solid, this bearing is supporting the wheel. And the axle, it's almost like the axle just becomes kind of sort of like a jack shaft at that point. So I'm hoping this does the trick. Trying to keep that somewhat intact in case I ever want to use it for something else. Okay, so I'm hoping this is going to end up being my solution to bending axles. Some of the welds on there are definitely not pretty. I was just trying to get that weld in there as solid as I could. I don't want that moving around. So, which I've said before, this is a Caravan wheel bearing that's been adapted to fit on my Can-Am Outlander rims. This is actually cut out of the spindle off the Caravan and welded in here. So this bearing should support the wheel. Like, it doesn't even need the axle anymore. Like, axle's just basically driving that. So I'm thinking if it can hold the front wheels of the Caravan together, I'm sure hoping it holds the arse end of this thing together. So this is what it looks like without the wheel bearing. That is the wheel bearing on the rim. I couldn't find any studs that would work properly, so I just tacked in some grade 8 bolts in there to be my wheel studs. And yeah, I'm just putting this together now, and I'm hoping that'll be the end of my bent axles.
So I got that axle repaired now. I'm pretty confident that's gonna hold up pretty good. I did take this for just one little spin in the park in front of my house. I didn't get that on videotape. I really haven't had a chance to get it out and test it now this is done. There's still some things I want to get finalized on this thing, and I got to get it painted. So the problem is now is I can't really take it out and give it a really good test drive to make sure that's going to hold, because this has happened where I live. And I really, as much as I want to take it out and play with it in the snow, I really don't want to take it in the snow until I get paint on it, because it's already getting kind of rusty. So yeah, good old winter has come. Wonderful. All right, man. So hopefully soon we'll get it up for a test drive and we can see how this thing's gonna work. And until then, take it easy. Have a good one.